Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, welcome to this episode of Writing Shotgun with Charlie for Armed Lifestyle Magazine. Today, we are going to be talking to Sarah Joy Albrecht from Hold My Guns. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Great to see you, Charlie.
It's always great to see you. We got to see each other recently at the Gun Rights Policy Conference in Phoenix, and I love it when you come sit next to me and we can make jokes. But I've noticed this at the Gun Rights Policy Conference and at AMCON. Whoever sits next to me, we always get in trouble for talking, and I don't really know why this is.
I can't figure that out. Why would anyone get in trouble sitting next to you for talking?
I know, right? It seems a little ridiculous, but
it's a little ridiculous.
It seems to be a pattern as well.
I thought you were a great value add there, and the commentary that you were providing was very apropos. So
it's most of it was, maybe.
it was a wonderful conference, both AMCON and GRPC, the Gun Rights Policy Conference. And that was actually the first time that I've been able to attend those events in person. Previously, I'd always watched online, but I was just so proud of you and of many that were in our community that came together, so many great friends, to share at AMCON, how do we share this message of liberty and the Second Amendment in a way that really resonates with the audiences, and how can we do that in a way that I guess just gives the credit and respect and what this message deserves. And so I love the pursuit of excellence there, and just the camaraderie, and that it's a cooperation to share this message and not a competition. Everybody brings a different flavor and has different nuances to their audience, but the message that goes out is one that just unites everybody. And the same thing with Second Amendment Foundation and the Gun Rights Policy Conference. I loved seeing so many amazing speakers. I know, like, one of my favorite was Massad's speech about being kind and how you can still have a message of liberty and bearing arms and still remember compassion. And that's something that really resonates, of course, with the mission of Hold My Guns. On our logo, Charlie, we have freedom, safety, and compassion. And those are words that I chose years ago because I believe that we can hold space for all of these concepts, and that it's something that all of us need. So we can exercise our rights and still be compassionate and still be safe with our firearms. So yeah, it was a wonderful event, and it was awesome to see you and hang out there and to get a few laughs in too, because that's, you got to see, and you got to see my laptop, which it's flipped around right now because we're recording on my laptop, but you got to see your sticker in the wild. So that was pretty cool, Charlie.
I absolutely love that. I've had a couple people recently take pictures of their laptops or their gun safe or something that's got a Riding Shotgun sticker on it, and I love it, man. I dig it. It makes me feel like I'm. I don't want to say I don't feel like I'm part of the community, but it validates that. It validates that people like me. Doggone it.
We do. We do. We absolutely love you. You have one of the coolest shows and concepts. And when I did the Riding Shotgun with Charlie, we were out in Lancaster County and dodging buggies in
the
and
rain.
Road apples. Yes.
And road apples.
In the rain. So
It's great.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I love going to all the things like the NRA meetings, the SHOT Show, and of course the Gun Rights Policy Conference, which I've gone to the most. And it really is a family reunion when you get together and you see these people, on social media, you see them online, you watch videos, read the articles, whatever. And then when you get to hang out with these people and talk to them and shake their hands and have a cup of coffee with them, it really makes everything completely priceless, and really puts the connection there, so that the
Mhm.
next time you see them, the connection goes stronger and grows stronger and grows stronger. And it really, I totally stole this from someone else, and I've been saying it long enough and often enough that I think people people try to give me credit for it. But these things really are family reunions, and
They
it's
are.
our Second Amendment family that we have these special connections with and these special relationships with, and we set everything else aside to spend time together.
Yes.
Put
It's
politics
a
aside,
priority. Yes,
yeah, it really is.
it
And we can
is.
see that people of all walks of life, this is what we enjoy doing, and this is what we enjoy sharing, and it's great stuff.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. And, I wish that I could go back and tell like 12-year-old Sarah, like, there will be a time in your life where you'll be around like-minded people who understand the beauty of liberty and that you'll have connection with. Because, and I think that's a challenge. I have young adults for children now. I can't say I have children anymore. They're not really
They're
children,
they're
but
still your
they're
children,
still my children. And
but
we
they're not
struggle,
they're
but
not juveniles.
we do have the challenge. I think it would be a cool thing to work to bring in the next generation of people. And I would love to see more young people attending AmCon and attending Gun
Mm,
Rights Policy Conference. And, let's work together to do that, because the children are our future, Charlie. So we need to
they
bring them
are.
in. And, it's why it's so important too to always be thinking about, like, from a legislative perspective, like, we want for our young adults 18 to 20 to be able to lawfully carry firearms and all that stuff. So we have to understand the implications of how, when we fight for our rights, that it affects the next generation, and we don't want to let anyone fall through the cracks. So
Mm.
help me with that. Let's
I
work together and get more young people involved.
Totally. I've heard someone say that the unofficial greeting at the NRA meetings is, huh?
We can change that though,
We totally
It
can. We
is
totally
changing.
can.
It is changing though, but yes.
It is, and it's interesting I'm in my early-ish 50s, and I feel like I'm the new guy, and I feel like we still need to bring in younger people and get them involved in this, because I do, like the Ronald Reagan quote, that freedom is only one generation away. And if
Oh
we
yeah.
don't pass this important lesson on to our kids, then it is going to be one of these things that we don't have anymore. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
it's
That's partly
it's
why we do what we do. We want this to just be that torch that helps to protect the next generation. And honestly, I think that they're seeing it. There's a lot going on in the world, and I think that young people are realizing the value of being able to protect yourself, and
mm,
that we need, part of that is, and that it's protected by the Second Amendment. It's a right that we have, but it's enshrined and preserved by the Second Amendment, is that we should have the liberty to figure out and determine what type of protection that we need for the circumstances that we're in. And so, we can always have that personal risk assessment to say, where am I going to be going today? How many firearms am I bringing with me? And what kind of rounds am I carrying? And, what kind of knife am I bringing with me? Do I have my pepper spray? All of these different things are personal choices for the situation that the individual is part of. And so that's why it's so important that we push back against things like gun bans, and even we see around the world like knife bans. So we want to make sure that people are protected, so that when evil does come knocking on the door, whether it's our own homes or our car, or when we're out and about, that we are able to protect ourselves. So
mhm.
it is something young people are realizing.
Yeah, for sure. We are recording this after a recent attack from Hamas on Israel, and I'm sure you've seen this story, and I know you did a video recently on the worst part of it, but there was a story about a husband and wife that locked up
Yeah.
their 10-month-old twins and killed 7 Hamas terrorists before they were killed. And then I don't
Mhm.
know, I think it said like 12 or 13 hours later, the uncle and grandfather found the two 10-month-old infants. Um,
Yeah.
this is why people have guns. This is why people
Yes.
need to be able to train and practice and know how to use their firearms. I always tell folks when I teach classes the two reasons that people have guns. One of them is to protect you and your loved ones, and the other one's to overthrow the government. And
Mhm.
we're getting closer to the second one all the time.
We
You
are.
know,
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
getting
and it is a very real thing, but that's you're spot on, Charlie. And it keeps governments in check, and it also helps to fight against evil attacks that literally come to the
mm,
door. I when I read that or heard that story, I could hardly talk for about an hour afterwards. I can't
yeah.
imagine what it would be like to put your twins in a safe room in your house and knowing that you're probably not going to make it and just be hoping that they would and to fight with everything that you have to protect them. And yeah, it- and
The thing
you've had a
with
lot of guests on your show, Charlie, that have had to do just that. So you're
yes,
helping to spread that message so that people realize, like, I do not want to be a victim, or I want to make sure my kids are not victims. And so
yeah.
I love how you share that message in a way that makes it very um palatable and real for people to understand,
Mm.
like this is something that I can do to protect myself and my family. And I'm really proud of you how you share that message through sharing stories.
Well, thank you. As I always say, I'm just trying to keep up with everybody else. So we, this isn't the chair, the Sarah Joy, tells Charlie how good he is show. We're going to talk about you and the good stuff that you're doing.
All right, Charlie. All right.
Yes. So it's been a couple years since we filmed
Yeah.
the Writing Shotgun with Charlie in Lancaster? It's Lancaster for the rest of us, but it's Lancaster for you guys, right?
Lancaster. Yes, I can
Lancaster.
tell you're not from around these parts, Charlie.
I know, I love it. I was in Pennsylvania recently, and I
Mhm.
love that they call it Pennsylvania. So anyway, um, what has been going on with Hold My Guns? You have I mean, give us the quick, recap of what Hold My Guns is and how it's been growing over the last couple of years.
Yes, so all right. Hold My Guns is a 501c3 nonprofit, which is important because it is devoted to helping people. It's not a political organization. We're a 501c3 nonprofit from within the firearms community. And what we do is partner with gun shops across the United States to provide voluntary firearm storage during times of personal need. And that personal need can include anything from making sure your firearms are secure while you're being deployed, while you're on vacation, if you have an at-risk foster child in your home or someone who's become prohibited and now as a gun owner you have to figure out a way to secure your firearms and you can't do that in your home. Or if someone is experiencing a crisis such as postpartum depression or suicidal ideation or even working through addiction. So people use our service for a variety of reasons. And we do not ask why the customers bring in the firearms to our storage partners. And what we do value is that we know that for whatever reason that gun owner is making that personal choice to store firearms at a FFL location, that it is something that is helping them. So we love to be able to support our own community, knowing that not everybody has the option of storing with friends or family. We can also, in addition to storing firearms, can store non-serialized critical parts. That would be something like a barrel, a firing pin, or we can even store accessories like the key to a gun lock. And
Mm,
I know that, cable locks are something that are easily defeated, but it does cause a pause. It does create accountability that someone else is holding on to those keys, especially if there's a suicide crisis in the home. So anytime that we can work with a gun owner and help to tailor that storage service to meet their needs, we want to do it because again, we're supporting people in our own community,
mhm.
humbly knowing that any of us could have a tough day as well. And Charlie, just to catch up, in the past 2 years, our I have 5 kids, and we 5 young adults, and we've experienced 4 car accidents, actually 5 if you include the motorcycle accident. So, each one of those times, you pull up to this scene and you've got your kid there and you've got ambulances and police and everybody else, and it's like, oh my goodness, in the motorcycle accident, I was the one that gave the keys to my son, and he's great, just got run off the road by a very large truck that went over the line. So, um, and he's okay, but again, it just underscores that you don't know what the day's going to bring. And so that is why it's so important that we build the infrastructure so that we're able to support our own community. So if someone's having a tough day or they're moving and they don't want to have, their guns sitting in the back of a truck or in a hotel room somewhere while they're waiting for the new house, that they have a place to store them. And what that does is it helps in a non-legislative way, in a way that promotes self-governance, and it equips people to be able to manage their personal matters so they don't become public ones. I'm really saying all my buzz phrases here, Charlie, but it is the way that we can do this that empowers people, and it helps to prevent suicide. It helps to prevent theft of firearms, stolen firearms used in crime, and unauthorized use. So all of these things, and elevating the beauty of liberty and self-governance. So I love my job. We have 8 storage partners now. We have a 9th one in the works, which will be a second in Pennsylvania. You mentioned some events. We're going to be at SHOT Show again this year. We're at booth 41167, and it should be a lot of fun. We have some great folks lined up who want to stop by as doing guest appearances. And I love being able to help people. One of the things that breaks my heart, though, Charlie, is when we get a call from someone who needs storage and we don't have a storage location near them. And I would love to be able to grow and to be in all 50 states and to be really in major cities so that our community has access to this service if they need it. And I also have to say something else that breaks my heart is that when gun control comes into play, like the assault weapons ban in Washington, we recently had to turn away someone in need, a member of our community, who needed about 40 firearms stored. And because their firearms were on the list of banned items, even though they're grandfathered in, we're not coming for your guns, we're just grandfathering them in. You don't have to give them up. Guess what? You can't do anything with them, and you certainly can't transfer them to an FFL because the fines are like $100,000 for each infraction if an FFL is illegally holding onto those firearms. So we are pushing back, but it is very important that viewers know that we have a very unique position to speak out as a nonprofit who's providing a service, a safe storage service, which is something that you hear as a buzzword and it's used euphemistically a lot for like child access protection laws. That's not what we're doing. We're actually genuinely being safe with firearms and securing them for people in our community. But we are pushing back to say, if you truly want for people to have the service, you have to get rid of some of these transfer laws and these bans, because it makes it illegal, if not criminal, for FFLs to be able to secure firearms for gun owners. So I know it's a lot there, Charlie, that I just shared with you, but that's what we've been up to, and you know what, we have a lot going on. So I could go on and on and on, because we're a busy group, and we're a group of volunteers, and we really want to grow so that we can better serve our community and just amplify the beauty of liberty.
What I really love about your group is that the anti-gun folks want to put the image out there that gun owners are evil and mean and extremists and, all of these bad things, and they're probably projecting them, but they want to put this out there about gun owners, and you are the complete opposite of all of that. You're caring for people, you're doing something to help people, and you don't really care why that person needs help. You want to help them regardless of the purpose that they need a timeout. And
Yes.
It's
Or just
very
to store their
important.
guns. It's not even a
Yeah.
timeout. Like in some cases it could be, And, but it also could be that they're moving or going to college or,
Yeah.
many different reasons. So, um, and that is something I'm working on, kind of changing the perception a little bit, because I am really, really grateful that, different organizations recognize our work during Suicide Prevention Month. But man, we help gun owners in so many different situations. I think, and again, we don't ask, but, I think that suicide prevention's only a fraction of the reasons why people use the service. So,
Well,
yeah,
that's
yes for
good.
timeout, but yes for other things too.
Yes. Right. But you're there for people. And
Yeah,
that's what's super important to me,
it
which and
is.
what I really, really appreciate and admire about Hold My Guns.
Thanks.
Now, I want to talk. We're heading into the heading into to Thanksgiving season, and this episode's going to be coming out around Thanksgiving 2023. There's been something that I've been doing for 9 years, I think,
Oh,
that yeah, that you think is pretty that you like, and it is a grateful list. And the grateful
yes.
list is three things that I put out on my social media every day, things that have happened in the previous 24 hours that I'm grateful for. And it's some days
Usually
are
the
rough,
Waffle House. It's
like going
there's a high percentage of when I read your post on your grateful list, it usually has to do with the boy, the girl, or the Waffle House, or a combination of those things.
it's
But
well,
they're
one thing I haven't
timeless.
had,
These
it's
are timeless things to be grateful for.
they
So,
really are. The boy and the girl often
yeah.
make appearances there because both my kids are, I'm going to use air quotes when I say adults. They're
Mhm.
over 21, so legally they're adults.
Right. Yeah.
But when my son first went to college, every time he came, and he was only going to college like 45 minutes away, but every time he came back, it felt like it was borrowed time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know he's eventually going to be like, hey, listen, you know what? I got to move. I got to move. I got to find an apartment. I got to do this and this. Um, I felt that less with the girl when she went to college, but she went to college further away. But
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah.
you know,
I know that
it is
feeling. I know that
right.
feeling. So
Yeah.
yes, and Thanksgiving, by the way, is probably my favorite holiday,
Mm,
because it's centered around gratitude. And
yeah.
I do always enjoy hearing what people are up to, when we're sitting around the table. And so yes, I'm excited. So tell me more about your thoughts about Thanksgiving. And
S-
yes, 100%, your gratitude list makes my day
s-
almost every day.
Well, I appreciate that. What I used to enjoy, what I used to enjoy about Thanksgiving is getting a fire going and having a Bloody Mary before the in-laws came over. But the in-laws are now the outlaws, so having a fire and having a Bloody Mary are less on my plans for Thanksgiving. But I still like getting together with the kids and having the kids over and getting together with friends. And the grateful list, the real quick thing with the grateful list is what it did is it put my mind in a different perspective, and it made me
Mhm.
appreciate things like going to the Waffle House and spending time with my kids and opening up a jar of peanut butter, which often makes the grateful list as well. And
Mhm.
the little things when I started to appreciate them, they started to become bigger things, and then bigger
Yes.
things and bigger things. And appreciating the small things really means a lot, because that can turn into the bigger things. Because there's like I said, there's been days when I'm grateful for opening up. I love opening up a jar of peanut butter and putting a knife in, just a fresh jar of peanut butter. There was
Mhm.
one time my son opened a jar of peanut butter, and I was a little upset, but he didn't use a lot of peanut butter. And then so I took a picture of the amount of peanut butter that he used on his sandwich, and then I took a picture of the amount of peanut butter that I used on my sandwich, and I wondered if we were even related.
Oh my goodness. See, it's the little things like that that just but that make our day. And I love your perspective, and you always encourage me too to be looking for those little things, because whether they're little things or big things, we can miss being grateful for really big things too if we're out of the practice of appreciating the little things. In order to appreciate the little things, we have to start with gratitude for the fact that we have them in our life in the first place.
Mm,
And there's a great line called the liturgy of the everyday, and that we can find purpose and just the kind of sacredness as people with souls, that we are going about our day, and that nothing that we're doing is really ordinary. And even C.S. Lewis has a great quote: "There are no ordinary people; that everyone is that there are no mere mortals." And so I just love that, and it changes the way, like, when I talk to someone, especially if I'm cracking jokes at AmCon and being disruptive. But I enjoy. I'm just teasing. Yeah, we were respectful, right? Right,
Yes,
Charlie?
yes, we keep
But
if we keep saying that, that will be true.
yeah, so it will be true. But just the privilege it is to talk to other people, and the privilege it is to be able to interact with the things that we have, and to enjoy life together,
Mm,
moment by moment. And when we're out of practice, then it can seem like, the out of practice of gratefulness, it can seem like the world is against us, that there's no good in it, and we really just have a very dark perspective. And again, like, humbly speaking, it's easy for any of us to get out of that practice. And so it's so great that the firearms community is a protective factor. I love saying that. It's one of my favorite hashtags that I use.
mm,
Um, that we can encourage each other to be grateful and enjoy the beauty of liberty in a way that makes us want to get up in the morning. So
that's awesome.
100%. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, listen, we need to wrap this up. Um,
Fine.
I You've got places to go. I've got things to do. It's like the middle of, the middle of the day here. Um, how can people find you and all of the wonderful things that Hold My Guns is doing?
You can find us at holdmyguns.org on our socials, or holdmyguns.org is our website. And in the link tree, there's some great tools. We have a personal safety plan that I encourage everyone to fill out, and you can download it. It's a great thing to bring with you to Thanksgiving, because you can print it out, and you can, when you're interacting with your loved ones, say, "Hey, can I put you down as my emergency contact, or my buddy that I want to call if I'm ever in a time of crisis?" And it introduces the safety plan to them. And you can encourage them, like, "Hey, I want to give you one of these plans too. And you can put me down as that person that you can call anytime, day or night, if you ever need," or whatever you're comfortable with sharing. But it is a plan that equips gun owners to be their own first responder in a mental health crisis, or a crisis that's coming from within. It lists all of their preferred resources, and also what they would want as a plan for firearms if they ever need to store their firearms, whether it's with friends or family, or Hold My Guns location. So please check out that resource. It's in the link in the bio, on our socials, and also on our community tab at holdmyguns.org. It's a great tool, and it's a great icebreaker for Thanksgiving conversation.
Very cool. Well, we're going to put some links for that below in the YouTube description as well. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this. Um, it's always great to see you. It's always great to talk with you and hang out and get some time with you, and to hear how you're doing, and to get your perspective on things, because the gun community is full of people that work hard to share the goodness and the, like you said, the liberty and the freedoms that people do. And you're somebody that's out there doing it and making it happen, and it's completely wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlie.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
All
Please
right.
check out armedlifestylemagazine.com, and check out all the Writing Shotgun with Charlie's, as well as the Writing Shotgun with Charlie's, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.